We will now be moving on to our public comment period, and there are at least 3 people. Oh, yes, thank you. So you got applause at the beginning and at the end. So moving on to the public comment period, we have at least 3 people who have signed up to make comments, and it's also open to any others in the room who wish to give a brief comment. Also want to remind you that there are opportunities to send information and material to our study director, Amy Geller, and that material will be made available through the to the project public access file and will be made available to the committee. We also have several comments. Thank you very much for those of you who have joined on the webcast. We've received many comments and questions from you, and those will be directed to the committee members, and in particular cases, we'll get back in touch with speakers and ask them those questions so that information can be provided to the committee as well. So without further ado, we have here the first person on the list, David Robles from SAMHSA. Is David still with us?
Yeah,
Are you David?
Yeah, but I wasn't actually prepared to.
Are you going to provide your materials to us for the public access file?
Or do you just sign up by accident?
Oh, okay. Okay, no problem. If you have any information, you can send it to Amy Geller, our study director. Okay, great. And then we also have Lori Krieger. Yes, if you want to step up to the microphone there over to the side, or there's a microphone right there. Great, thank you.
First of all, I wanted to thank you for making this public and to tell you how much I really enjoyed all of the talks and all of the very insightful questions by the committee. So thank you. Secondly, I really did learn a lot. I wanted to say that I think that, in fact, I'm sure that your title is a misnomer. It's socio-behavioral sciences. You don't have any social scientists, you're except an economist. And a lot of the things that I think would help you, that would go across everyone's work, you don't have. Syndemics, which is really important these days, is from a critical medical anthropologist, Meryl Singer, and it really brings everything together. It was mentioned toward the end by Dr. Halfman. It's multi-causal. When I was in graduate school, we learned about multi-causal diseases. These are diseases these are multi-causal factors that produce the same, very many different things. I think that a lot was said about income, but not much about social class, which unites a lot of what you're talking about, but you need a social scientist to talk about that. Similarly, I'm not surprised that home visiting got bipartisan support because it doesn't address structural barriers at all. It doesn't even recognize them. And that's something that Congress is very loath to do, not to mention American culture. So I think a political scientist would have helped the last speaker talked a lot about political will, and that was great. Would have also helped to talk about how you generate political will, what buttons to press. One of the things that I would say as an anthropologist, who actually is I'm a practitioner, so I work in health communication globally, and one of the things I would say is tell people, these are your future voters. These are the future. If you want Social Security, or if you want to be taken care of in your old age, well, you better support the kids now. And that's something that will appeal, I think, to a large political spectrum. So that's all I wanted to say. And next time, please think of a social scientist.
Thank you so much for your comments. We also have Ruth Lubbock, who's signed up. I think she might have had to leave, so I know she's given information electronically that will be shared with the committee. Are there others in the room who wish to speak at this point? Okay, I don't see anyone else who would like to come up. As I mentioned, those on the web can submit comments electronically, and those will be shared with the committee. And you can submit additional materials after this meeting to Amy Geller, our project study director. And just to keep in mind that all materials shared today and any materials you wish to share with the committee in the future will be made public through the project public access file. This is because the National Academies comply with Section 15 of the Federal Advisory Committee Act rules. So this public meeting is now adjourned. Thank you so much, everyone, for your participation, for your presentations, for your enthusiasm, and appreciate your being here very much. Thank you so much. And the committee will reconvene in our closed session in 10 minutes. So 10-minute break.